And it's a key priority for California's first in the nation's Reparations Task Force, ending forced labor for inmates. Advocates call it the End Slavery in California Act. ABC 10's Becca Habegger shows us what it would do and how you could weigh in this November.
Slavery at its core is forced labor to benefit another.
John Vasquez was 16 when he was sentenced to more than 30 years behind bars.
I ended up serving 25 years of that, and I've been home for a little over 5 years now.
He's now advocating for ACA 8, introduced by Assemblymember Lori Wilson. That's an Assembly constitutional amendment. Currently, California's Constitution says slavery is prohibited. Involuntary servitude is prohibited. But did you know it goes on to say, except to punish crime?
If that does not sound like legalized constitutional slavery to you, I don't know exactly what that sounds like.
Jamelia Land is co-director of state operations for the Abolish Slavery National Network, as well as co-founder of the Anti-Violence Safety and Accountability Project. She testified before the Senate Public Safety Committee Tuesday, which granted ACA 8 a key hurdle, passing it on to the next committee. Land says prisoners make just pennies per hour and have no choice over their work assignment.
Incarcerated people in the state of California make all of the office furniture that is inside of this building. They make the road signs.
Ultimately, proponents of ACA 8 want California voters to decide whether to amend the state constitution to say slavery in any form is prohibited, which includes forced labor compelled by the use or threat of physical or legal coercion. It would need 2/3 approval in both the Assembly and State Senate, and then would go before California voters in November's election. Many of these advocates tried passing a similar constitutional amendment a couple of years ago, but it ultimately died in the state Senate. This time, the proposal has the support of the California Democratic Party. Democratic Senator Steve Glazer says he's in favor of a constitutional amendment, but he'd like any change to come with clarifications.
So you would vote for ACA 8 in some amended form?
As long as it defines what it means for an inmate in the prisons, what would be required and what would not be required. And as long as the basics in a prison, like hygiene and safety and food service, as long as those things are covered and taken care of, I think we can find a middle ground in her bill.
ACA 8 advocates say incarcerated people want to work, they just don't want to be forced to work with no say in their work assignment.
I was on a job waiting list for over 3 years, just waiting to get a job. And I wanted to work because I wanted something to do.
In Sacramento, Becca Habegger, ABC 10.
Now, similar language exists in the U.S. Constitution, and similar efforts are underway to change that language, too. Currently, the 13th Amendment bans slavery and involuntary servitude except for punishment for crime. Meanwhile, a number of states have changed their constitutions to abolish all forms of slavery, including Colorado, Utah, and Nebraska.